Shall I share, Prabhuji?
Just wait, just wait. This is done. Yes.
Okay. So we'll start with the last verse of Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Before that, we'll do quick recap and we'll chant the prayers first. Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we'll do a quick recap of what we discussed last time. Anybody wants to help with this? Mention any point what we covered last time. So we can cover the first section before the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, and then we can go to the 3 verses that we have covered from Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Sujata Mataji, you have unmuted.
First we saw about Krishna talks about his opulences. That is, he is unborn and is the thing. So even the demigods don't know him because he has created all the living entities. So that nobody knows him, only he knows thing. That's what we saw in the first, before the Chatuslokas.
Thank you, Mataji. So all the living entities, including the demigods, great sages, having come from Krishna, they don't know Krishna completely. Only Krishna by his internal potency can know himself completely, and those devotees who Krishna bestows his mercy upon can know Krishna to some extent based on the level which Krishna reveals himself to them. And then we came to the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Anybody would like to? Yes, Janaki.
In text 4 and 5, no, I found this very interesting. All the qualities of a living entity has been mentioned, and Prabhu and Lord Krishna says that all of this is something that he has, put them in the physical world. So in that, when I look at it, there are, I think 24, I think 16 of them are positives. And there are very few negatives that have been put into the physical world. So is that something, is there a message, Prabhuji, in that?
No, everything is created by Krishna.
No, there are far more good qualities, but that's what I meant,
Well, yeah. Anyway, Krishna is a positive person, but overall focus is that in the material world, everything has come from him only. Religion comes from the front, religion comes from the back. Suppose somebody said, I want to forget God. He gives the intelligence by which we forget him. Sometimes we are trying to preach to somebody and it's impossible. He is giving so many intelligent arguments. What to do? Krishna is giving him reasons to forget him because essentially he doesn't want him. So Krishna gives the intelligence.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, when there is so many good qualities, but we find the negative tendencies which are higher than the positive tendencies, while the positive tendencies is what God has manifested in this universe. That's what I meant. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, we need to study.
And then anybody would like to state in summary what was the crux of the verses we discussed from Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita so far? Text 8, 9, 10. Anita Mataji, you have unmuted. You want to speak?
Sure, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, so like the 8th verse, aham sarvasya prabhavo. So here, like my understanding, like we do the search, like so here they are talking about the sambandha jnana, or how we can understand about the truth about the Krishna. And and then the next verse in the 9th, and where we are, he's talking about the process, machitta madgata prana. So there we are discussing the process. And then the 10th, he's talking about how we can achieve the goal. So like everything, like first we search, like as a we the sadhak, we know now the ISKCON, this we are going towards the right process, because this is the through the tradition, or it's the parampara. And when we are doing the japas, and we are increasing our devotion. So like when we first we do the search, then we are doing the process, and then we are trying to go towards the goal. So that is the essence, what you explained earlier in the 8th and 9th and 10th, and we are discussing that. So the 11th again is how to achieve that goal of that devotion.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you. Thank you, Anita.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvind Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes. In 10.8 verse, God is talking about everything emanates from me. And those who know this, it becomes my devotee.
Yes.
And verse 10.9 talk about people who do means devotion service to me, and it talks within the people glory about my glorification, and he is always engaged in my talk of my glorious activities.
Yes.
10.10 talks about those who are always constantly thinking of me. I will give him wisdom so that he can relate with me. And 10.11 it talks of I will lighten his intelligence, so that his ignorance can be destroyed.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna,
Thank you.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Arvind Prabhu and Anita Mataji. So now we will start with our today's verse, which is the last verse of Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Tesham evanukampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atmastho nashayami atmabhavasto jnanadipena bhashvata. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So here Lord Krishna in the text number 10 and 11 is explaining his reciprocation with his pure devotees. So first two verses we saw how pure devotees understand Krishna's manifestations, his opulence, that he is the source of everything, and how they act from their side. Next text, that is 10 and 11, Lord Krishna is explaining how he reciprocates with his devotees, firstly by giving them the knowledge by which they can come to him, and by destroying with the lamp of knowledge the ignorance within their heart. So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that sometimes the Mayavadi philosophers, they tend to misunderstand or incorrectly consider devotees to be naive sentimentalists. And Srila Prabhupada gives the example of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his interaction with the leader of the Mayavadis, Prakashananda Saraswati, in Banaras. So Prakashananda Saraswati, he was the leader of the Mayavadis and very learned scholar, who asked Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you are a sannyasi, why don't you study Vedanta? As a sannyasi, we should study Vedanta. And Mahaprabhu he started the discussion on a very humble note by saying how his spiritual master considered him a great fool. And he told him to just chant, because you're not better, as good for Vedanta discussion, to study the Vedanta philosophy. But then point by point, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clear each and every misconception and point which Prakashananda Saraswati put. So philosophically, he defeated Prakashananda Saraswati thoroughly. And Prakashananda Saraswati, all with his 60,000 disciples, surrendered unto Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada is stressing that it is not that the devotees don't know the philosophy well, they definitely know. And there have been many learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. And Srila Prabhupada mentions even if there is a scenario where a devotee is not well versed in the scriptural injunctions or on the philosophical points, if he is sincerely engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, Krishna will personally help such a devotee within his heart to destroy the ignorance with the shining lamp of knowledge. Only qualification needed is a devotee should carry out the devotional activities in full Krishna consciousness. All the knowledge will then get revealed within the heart. And about the material sustenance, Srila Prabhupada explains the devotee doesn't have to really worry about it, because once the knowledge is there, Krishna will definitely, the material well-being will follow the spiritual well-being. So whatever is needed for the sustenance, maintenance of the devotee, Krishna will automatically take care. And in the conclusion part of the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, this is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered unto the Supreme Lord, engage himself in pure devotional service. And this last statement is very instructive. As the Lord takes charge of the devotee, one becomes completely free from all kinds of materialistic endeavors. So Krishna personally takes charge of such a devotee and his maintenance. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, this is, don't have to worry about this. See, this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita, is that instead of satisfying my senses, let me satisfy senses of Krishna. Now, this is the central core Prabhupada mentioned in the preface. And within the heart of a devotee, imagine somebody in village, not educated at all, and he's just chanting Krishna's name. And with good association, he's understood this essence. Like that example comes in Krishna book of the Dvija Patni. They were the Brahmanas, qualified Brahmanas, means know all those what we today know as Karma Kandi Brahmanas. They know rules, regulations, they know some mantras, tantras, but they did not know the essence. And on other hand, their wives who are not educated at all, but having heard about Krishna with open heart from devotees who were enjoying Krishna Leela, what happened to them? When they heard that Krishna Balaram has come, they ran to serve Krishna Balaram even against the wish of their husband, practically taking a very big risk. It's not easy in those days to defy the husbands. They just don't care. They just ran out of the house. And the essence of Krishna Bhakti had developed within their heart without so-called scholarship. So ahetuki, bhakti to the Lord is ahetuki, is causeless. Nothing can stop it. I'm educated, I'm uneducated. Nothing can stop it. It can easily fructify within the heart of the devotee. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's this argument that I'm not, my Guru Maharaj said I'm a big fool. Actually, it is for us. All of us are big fools. Neither we know Sanskrit, neither we know the intricate Vedic philosophies. We don't know anything. But still, the essence, we got it. Sometimes people have the idea that in Mayavada school, they learn Sanskrit, they learn a lot of Upanishads, and sometimes when they come, I've seen in the debate, Dvaita or anything, a chapter like that, I put up in a video playlist, I had thousands of them commenting. I wrote a debate, Dvaita and Advaita. Thousands of fight is going on between people there. And they say, what do you people know? They say like that. You Hare Krishna, what do you know? But they don't know. We have got the main thing. We got the main thing, Krishna. We may not know what is this Upanishad. I may not know that Upanishad. I may not know all the Vedic verses. But by doing devotion service under the shelter, guidance, protection of a pure devotee, we have surpassed the learning of all so-called Vedantas. Therefore, Prabhupada particularly put his name as Bhakti Vedanta. Vedanta, somebody who knows the conclusion of the Vedas through bhakti. Okay, so very, generally people think these two things cannot be combined. Vedanta means generally impersonal understanding of God, in which bhakti is a mere emotional sentiment, which is not important. Jnana is important. That's what the society is taught. Okay. Hare Krishna. Anybody likes to comment something on this? Somebody wants to add something? Chalo, continue.
Prabhuji, we also have a group activity on this particular
Oh, very
portion
good.
that we discussed.
Oh, you saw this preaching application based my integrity objectives? Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. So
Yes.
this
Prabhuji, can you explain that Vedanta one more time?
Veda Anta.
Which is
Veda means
Vedanta.
Vedas. Anta means the conclusion.
Oh, conclusion.
Vedanta. They have societies called Vedanti societies, mostly Mayavadis. Huh? Yes, what is the group activity?
this particular statement, which sometimes the Mayavadi philosophers incorrectly conclude that devotees are in the darkness of ignorance or are philosophically naive, sentimentalists. How can we respond to this statement based on this verse and the explanation we just heard with few examples? Like
Very
one
good.
example Prabhuji gave just now. So we can see few more. So maybe
Chalo
Prabhuji,
bhai, discuss now.
Are we
Discussion time.
you're going to put us into breakout rooms, Prabhuji?
No. Let them. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Chalo. I will put you in a group of 4 or 5 each and discuss among yourself and how much time we should give. 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
5 minutes, Prabhuji. And today we are targeting to close chapter 11, Prabhuji. Sorry, chapter 10.
Wait a minute. Oh, so how many breakout rooms you need? 10?
10, yes, Prabhuji.
Just wait. Hey, who is why I'm having difficulty? It's not allowing me. Not allowing me to make breakout rooms. Okay, now it's allowed me. Okay, assign automatically. Okay, so you'll be thrown into 10 rooms, 5 each. So you're going to this group activity. Please note it. Can you note it in your register? Devotees are in darkness of ignorance and philosophically naive sentimental. That's what people generally say. Okay. Respond to the statement, reference to 10.11 verse, purport, and keep your Bhagavad Gita open when you are in this class.
Yeah.
Okay. So 10.11 you open and keep your Bhagavad Gita with you and define the phrase Jnana Dipina. Please take 2 minutes and note down this first.
He has posted it in the chat, Prabhuji. We all have it in the chat.
Okay. Mataji has put it in the chat.
It's there in the chat.
Everybody noted down? But
Yeah,
still noted down?
Yeah, it's
Your
there.
objective is clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Hare Krishna, everybody. Pradosh Hotaji. Aki Reddy, Jaswant. They are left with me also, 5 people. Hare Krishna, ये video off क्यों करते हैं यार आप लोग, please? Why you come to the class if you want to switch off your video? We have mentioned indirectly that video should not be off. What do they use? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Please don't switch off videos. How you do the discussion? Oh. Yes, Rashmi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, what is the topic we are having?
About devotees not considered as efficient in knowing the knowledge-based.
Yes. How do we? What example you can give? I already gave.
Prabhu, I think we can say that by following the Bhakti mark, it is not about having knowledge and following rules. That is what I think, Prabhu.
What do you say that Bhakti Marga? There are no rules to follow?
It is not about just following rules and like, for example, I heard in one of Prabhupada's lectures that King Yudhishthira, he refused to say lie because he thought it was moral values. So what is moral itself is a questionable topic, is what I heard.
No, I could not get. I am not able to hear clearly. What you are saying, Mataji? Yeah, now you tell.
Yeah, so I was saying that it is not about just having knowledge. Bhakti is beyond that. And everything comes in that. Everything comes in that. All jnana, karma, everything comes in that Bhakti Yoga.
Yes. Somebody can be a jnani but need not be bhakta.
Yes.
But somebody is a bhakta is already a jnani because he has the essence. Main thing he got. See, what happens is that some details, maybe just like somebody says something. Jnani, what he does is basically is a set of logics and he is holding everything in the conclusion of his logical analysis. But tomorrow you give him some logic which beats his logic, he's crashed. He's all conception theorem. But devotee is different because of his service to the Lord. He has a revelation within his heart. He has a sweet spiritual experience of pleasure of serving the Lord. The devotee is having that in his heart. And for him, already darshan is there. And logic and reason cannot touch him, He's not shaken. Now, just like suppose somebody comes and tell you, Krishna is not God, Shiva is God. I got this argument from this Purana. You're not disturbed. Maybe I don't know the argument, but I'm not disturbed. I'll tell you later. Isn't it? We don't get disturbed. But in the neophyte stages, the people become very disturbed by some apparent contradictions and other things, which are always there in a vast, when we do not know Sanskrit, neither we know interpretations properly, and we read here and there, people do get confused. They hear something, it's okay, it doesn't disturb, it's fine. Because I have a experience of Krishna consciousness. We are not just speaking on theoretical platform. But most of the people, what happened, they argue, they don't, they disagree or agree. There is no revelation for them. They're just simply speaking, because from the mental platform, and that keeps flickering and changing. Correct? Today they have one view, tomorrow they have another view. They keep changing. But devotee doesn't change. He's peaceful. He's quite convinced of what he's doing. Any other?
That's about it.
I hota, pradosh hota. Aki ready adapa. I will be forced to break this whole Bhakti Shastri into 10 people each. Then we know people are there, not there. See? Okay, anyway, but as they are not there, let us do our job. So your analysis is what, Mataji? Can you repeat again?
That bhakti is beyond jnana yoga. It is beyond just the rules and regulations and just whatever is defined as moral value, or everything comes in bhakti automatically.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare
But
Krishna.
Janaki Mataji, your all analysis is over?
Yeah, it was a very good, Prabhuji. I think we should have more such breakout rooms. We get to know each other. So it was great. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, I have to close the rooms. Should I close or wait for 2 minutes more? Okay, let us discuss first what is happening. Yes, Ramesh PG, Hare Krishna. No, I can't hear you.
Ramesh ji, you're muted. You have to unmute
Okay.
yourself. Yeah.
Is it
Hare
okay, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, the discussion was around the topic which was given. So, and then we went into the breakout rooms, and what we understood is, say, one need not have the philosophical knowledge before taking up the devotional knowledge. It's not that one has to learn all the Vedas and then only he can come to the bhakti. But anyone who is a pure bhakti or who is devotionally connected, so he can come into this bhakti. He can do the devotional service to the Lord. So, and then later on he may take up the philosophical thing, the knowledge. So that's one thing. And for examples, we discussed about Narad Muni. So who was born to a maid servant, but by doing the service to the sages, so he got all the knowledge and then he got liberated. So that was one thing. And the other thing was about the gopis. So the gopis were not so-called the learned ones, but they had pure devotional service, and then their only objective was to serve Krishna. And I think they are the best among all doing the devotional service. So no one can be compared to them.
Yes, very nice. Tesham evanukampartham Vasudeve Bhagavati. Anybody know the shloka? Vasudeve Bhagavati. This is the shloka for us. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam cha Dahetukam. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha. Anybody takes to Vasudeva Bhakti. Janayati Asu, very soon. Asu means very soon. Vairagyam, all the Vairagya. Jnanam, all the Jnana Vairagya manifest within the heart. Very nice.
This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhuji?
No, Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam cha Dahetukam. Suppose you sit down very attentively and you every day attentively chant the Nama of the Lord. All the Jnana and Vairagya will manifest within your heart. And you may be a great learned person and may have no Vairagya, still attracted to vices like drinking, smoking, illicit sex, even though you have a lot of knowledge, because there is no Vairagya. Nothing is manifest within the heart. It's all theoretical.
Very nice.
So people can close on their own. You can close the breakout rooms.
We closed on our own, Prabhuji. Maybe others.
The discussion is still going on. We can close them now, so they are forced to come here.
Yeah. You might have to close them.
Prabhuji, it's a nice way of discussing it.
Yeah. 1 minute time, they will all be forced to come back. That is no, actually, see what this is what happens. Many a times now, when it comes to personal application, many a time we would not like to speak in public. But in a small groups, we like to we can open. We can't throw everything in public, correct? We can say, it was very difficult, really. So it can a small group, it can discuss.
Prabhuji, you have put us in the playing 11. So far, we were sitting in the gallery and watching others playing. No, really great, Prabhuji. This is a very good turning
we will
point.
keep doing. It took hardly any time, 5 minutes. Because see what happens, the lesson plan he is executing, Prabhuji is executing. This creates a variety. Now just having class gets boring, correct? So this is one of the things that's called group discussion. There are other things called brainstorming. There are so many ways we can do that. Okay? Done. Everybody has come back.
Is this Adish Prabhu sitting behind you?
Yeah, Adish Prabhu is with you, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Chalo.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, anybody from, let me see from which any room anything is there. Janaki Mataji, what was anything new thing from your room?
I was part of Ramesh Prabhu's group. He summarized.
Ramesh Prabhuji, anything you
No,
have?
we just summarized, Prabhuji. Ramesh
summarized.
Yeah, you might have to pick up somebody
KK
else.
Mukherjee, aapke room se anything came out?
Our team has already been presented. I also was the last person to really did a free 3 lines addenda.
Okay, so anybody, Dubeji, anything adding to that? Ratna Mataji, in your group?
Prabhuji, we just discussed this particular shloka and we came to a conclusion that yes, we all are in this with our senses, minds and intellects, we are in the material world, whereas our supreme personality of Godhead is divine. If he bestows his knowledge, he gives his grace to us, then we can overcome this darkness, which is nothing but an ignorance one, with the lamp of the wisdom which God can give us.
Okay, nice, very nice. Yes, Divya Rukmini Devidasi Mataji, you and your team, there was something I need to add up.
Actually, Prabhuji, Dubey Prabhuji, Mukherjee Prabhuji, we are all in the same group. Same thing we have discussed. What he has conveyed is
okay.
Yeah,
how come rooms are different and you all in the same thing? Radhika Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I think
your coughing is over?
Finished, Prabhu. It's still going on, but I can manage.
See, somebody as my students have sent me this Maharshi Ayurveda cough management. I just 2 bottles landed up. Yeah.
Sure, Prabhu. Prabhu, our team was, we've got stalwarts who have given one story as example. So,
okay.
So just to quickly ramp up,
quickly.
Yes, Prabhu. One is Dhruva's story where Dhruva entered with artistic interest, but Krishna gave the knowledge of purification. That is one story. The second story is that of a cobbler and a Brahmana, where a cobbler is, we think that cobblers believe is blind, but he had so much of jnana to explain that from the seed, within the seed, a banyan tree can go in. So he is so much of knowledge he had, so that jnana is already built into a cobbler also.
Wonderful. And then next story.
Yes, from Rajavidya. And the third story is when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered, the temple, the Trichy.
Okay, Ranganatha Brahmana
Ranganatha,
story.
thank you. Temple. So there, with the book, he could understand that theoretical knowledge. And then, of course, let's go back to the reference of Isho Upanishad. Andam tama pravishyanti eya vidyam upashate tato bhuya ivate tamo yayu vidyam yaratah. So clearly, it means that just a material education is going to push you into deep, dark planet, into nascence and all that. I'm just making a quick shot of that. So with all this,
very nice.
10 clearly tells that the knowledge we just read now, that knowledge, everything he gives, right? He is the one who gives the understanding with which we can come. So I think that summarizes.
So what do you feel that we don't need knowledge? Then why do the Bhakti Shastri course itself? We'll sit and chant Hare Krishna now.
Prabhu, we never said we don't have need knowledge. We said that Bhakti Yoga comprises and inbuilds both Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. So it's built in, including Ashtanga Yoga. built
I
into
think
it.
it's,
You don't have to.
I don't think any way anyone is talking about philosophy or this or that. I think philosophy alone will not help is what we're trying to say, right?
Correct.
Yes, so it builds into it. So this is Bhakti, right? In Bhakti also we are learning Jnana. But only Jnana without Krishna, then it's only dry speculation.
See, it's we are having realizations along with practice, not just mental speculation. Guru Nishta Devi Dasi ji, Hare Krishna. What was the discussion in your... no, you're muted.
Prabhuji, Sujata Mataji was the leader. She has the point.
Oh, where Sujata Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. What we said was, we need not worry about the scholars and philosophers. We should not be scared, taken aback, because we have entered into this. Let us, because Krishna says you just do the devotional service, and then other things he will take care of, giving us the intelligence to understand and everything. So we need not worry. I mean, we should not be thinking that we are at disadvantage because there are a lot of scholars are there and things. So,
okay, very nice. Thank you. Pran Chaitanya Prabhu, what was there in your this thing?
So we discussed few examples, Prabhuji, of devotees, how Krishna helped them from within to reveal the knowledge. Like the example of Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan, when he was pushed to the wall by the Ramanandis, that devotees don't have an authorized commentary on Vedanta Sutra. He went to Lord Govindadev, and Lord Govindadev personally dictated the Govinda Bhashya commentary on Vedanta Sutra, which allowed the devotees to continue the worship. And we covered few examples.
Very nice. This is a very famous example. The Ramanandi is a sect, and they basically the queen was influenced by them, and they forced the queen to declare that Radha Krishna should not be worshipped together. Even South India, many temples, they don't understand Radha and Krishna there. Even Madhvacharya has not revealed Radha Krishna worship. They don't, Udupi, they worship only Krishna. That's also nice because it's by great Acharya, Madhvacharya. But Radha Krishna revelation was not given by him. And therefore, they don't understand that. So I've seen so many Madhvas very, very offensive towards Radha. And it makes me very angry. So I don't want to, I just go away. Don't want to discuss with them. True. So Ramananda is similar sect, and even though Vaishnavas, they were not able to understand the worship of Radha Krishna. So Krishna should be worshipped, but not Radha here. And the Gaudiya Vaishnava, they said, no, we worship Radha Krishna together. This is where is your Bhashya on Vedanta. So Bhashya on Vedanta, I think all of you know by now. The Vedas are summarized into Vedanta. So if you produce your philosophy, you have to show it does not contradict any of the sutras. It does not contradict. You have to show. That is called Bhashya. There are 555, roughly 555. Some people say 556. There are little, one or two sutras that add and delete. So they wanted to present. So, but then rather the kings challenged them, present your Bhashya. They say Bhagavatam. Because that is our natural commentary. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not write a Bhashya. He said, no, Bhagavatam is there. Bhagavatam Achinta Veda is the conclusion. But so, no, we want Bhashya. And then the devotees, they called for Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Your morning aarti is there. Samsara Dava. One of the greatest scholars we had in our parampara. Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. These are all specially blessed by Mother Saraswati, and the knowledge in service to Krishna. Scholars, huge scholars. So he said, you can come. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was very old. He said, I can't go. He said, Baladev, go. He sent Baladev Vidyabhushan. And Baladev Vidyabhushan came, and Pran Chaitanya Prabhu completed the story. And he sat in front of Govinda Dev deity, and people were shocked. Bhashya takes a lot of time to make. I don't know the exact time. It was a very short time. He did the Bhashya, and people were shocked. And then they had Radha Krishna worship continued. No arguments. perfect explanation satisfying all the Vedanta Sutras. This our Bhanu Maharaj, one of the sannyasis in ISKCON, has translated that Govinda Bhashya to English for some people to know. So, academic. Now my basic thing is we have to learn Prabhupada books very nicely. Later, after you have done that, that's for your reference reading. Suppose some reference you want for particular service, you can always do. Yes, Prabhuji, thank Prabhuji, Pran Prabhuji. Then I was a team, room number 6. Yes, Mangala Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, so what was the discussion in your room? Well, you wanted to add something?
Yes, Prabhuji. This Manas Prabhuji, he took the lead.
Yes, Manas, Dr. Ji.
No, Mataji. Mataji.
Chalo, Manas ji, बोलिए क्या था आपका discussion?
Prabhuji, we have just read the purport, and there it is written, Krishna situated everybody's heart, mainly the devotees, and he tried to destroy all the ignorance, and he gives the knowledge so that devotee can understand everything. So devotees cannot be in the mode of ignorance.
Yes. Devotees cannot be in the mode of ignorance. Hana?
Yes, Prabhu.
The ultimate goal of Vishnu can be attained only by the devotional service.
That is from the purport. Very nice.
Yes, that point. That point we do.
Okay, very good. And then Tharani, Hare Krishna, what happened in your Vilas Vispute ji, आपके group में क्या conclusion है?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Conclusion. We started with the Sri Sisters come first verse actually, Cheto Darpan Marjanam. So once we started chanting, slowly our heart get purification, because due to the contamination of the material association through the millions of the births, our heart got already contaminated. So once we start our devotional service, heart get it's slowly purified, and with our own example we can say that before 1 year how we were, how much was the understanding of Bhagavad Gita and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but after association with pure devotees and gurus like you and
हाँ चलो आगे बोलो वो तो छोड़ो.
So slowly with the association and some understand that only we can from our own example we can say that it is a Gnana Dipena Bhasvata. So slowly we can understand what is the real things. Prabhuji.
Yeah, there was Prabhupada once saying in the class, can't you see the magic? So all the devotees said, magic? It said, you got knowledge. So it's actually inconceivable. By the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by mercy of Vaishnavas, we have arrived at the highest conclusion of the Shastra. We're really privileged. No, you should not get proud, but at the same time, we feel really privileged to got this mercy. Hana? Got the highest understanding. The gopis worship is where we knew that. Hana? Highest way to worship Krishna is through the gopis. No, we never knew this. Hana? Isn't it? We don't know who is Krishna, who is very nice, beautiful song sung by His Holiness Jayapata Kamari, Yadi Prabhupada na hoite. We would not have known anything actually, nothing. Who is Radharani, who is Krishna, which is Mayapur, what is Vrindavan. Now Vrindavan we are going. What is the date? March 21st, we are landing there. So where are we going to? I was sitting in Delhi, 23 years, never went to Vrindavan. No, I did not know what is Vrindavan. I think in Delhi also 90% people will not know what is Vrindavan. Or even if they go there, they go traditionally, but no the value of Vrindavan, not know.
Even Chalo, I have not visited Dwarka, but I visited Mayapur. So you can understand with the association only it was possible. Probably.
Chalo. Now Dwarka Yatra, Dharmesh is arranging in May. Dharmesh?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I visited Vrindavan when I was a student of class 5.
Yes. Yes, Negi, Hare Krishna Negi. Sri Lakshmi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. So in our group, Mamta Mataji, Sri Lakshmi Mataji, and Shobha Mataji were there. So
you had a big group, huh?
Yes, Prabhuji. So we were amazed at why Mayavadis are saying this. Because if we see the historical debates, so they were defeated very badly in philosophy.
Oh boy, you're
So
very
I don't know why they are saying like this, that devotees are sentimental.
defeated, and nobody from the school of Mayavada has come to undo the defeat. Nobody.
Yes,
See,
Ruhi. So
Madhvacharya defeated thoroughly, and no
Yes.
Mayavadis have come forward. It's a defeated philosophy to come forward to, but people do not know this. People do
And
not know this.
the reverse we
I
don't-
tell you,
we
in the
don't-
society, 90% people feel devotees are sentimentalists. That's how the general opinion is.
Yes, true.
Emotional fellows. One person said in the class meeting this. I don't know where Janaki Mataji is there. Then I brought my grinder. He said, those who want to work, they do karma yoga. Those who have knowledge to jnana yoga, and those who are emotional to bhakti yoga. Itna pitai karenge tera badmash. Those are emotional, sentimental people. People generally feel like that, है ना? Correct?
Yes.
And
But-
they see jnana is supreme. This all okay. This for
But-
neophyte.
but-
They feel generally we are neophytes, है ना?
Yes, Ruhi. But if we see history, the reverse is true. So Mayavadis are defeated very badly. And Sankaracharya himself is saying that Samprapye sannihit kale nahi nahi rakshati dumtuk karane. Means this grammatical rules will not have help at the time of death. So Bhaja Govindam. So similarly, so if we see all the scriptures, Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha Ade Ante cha Madhye cha Sarvatra Hari Giyate.
ये कहाँ से quotation है?
तो जी ये शायद चैतन्य चरितामृत में मतलब
What is
बीच
that?
में
Beautiful.
वेदे रामायणे चैव पुराणे भारते तथा आदि अन्ते च मध्ये च सर्वत्र हरि गीयते. Means Hari, only Lord Krishna is glorified, but Mayavadis do not see this because they don't have devotion. So like we see that Krishna is saying Bhaktya Mama Vijanati, only devotees, only devotional service can help to understand Krishna. So that is why it is happening. So we discuss like that.
Very nice, very nice. Beautiful. Done. Anything more in this discussion? It was useful. Everybody found the main point of today. It's gone. Yeah. Yes, bro.
Prabhuji, Murli, Prabhuji.
Murli, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, we had quite a good discussion. Santosh
Oh, really?
Prabhu
What was your team?
Santosh Prabhu, Aditi Mataji, Suguna.
Okay, sorry,
Suganya
I missed
Mataji.
your team. What happened?
Yes. We discussed 2 points. First is the impact of the word Jnana Deepam, what it means, what it is. Yeah. One of the key things we chase is this: Jnana is the light and Deepam is the lamp. So there is no the connection between lamp and the light. That is what we discussed for a while. Yeah. And the second thing we concentrated is on the allegations that he is a devotee is a sentimentalist, or is a chosen path.
What is your argument? You
the thing was sentimentalist or non-sentimentalist is the other point's view. Yeah.
No,
sentimental or non-sentimental is other point's view.
Okay.
Yeah. But the path is my choice. Therefore, what others think we do not mind. It is our choice. We want to go this way. That is what we discussed. And then, of
Very
course,
nice,
we come up
nice.
with
Let people say whatever they want, Hannah. Correct. Interesting. Nice, very nice.
Yes.
Chalo, Jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dharaneshwari Mataji, your health is okay now? Chalo.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna,
okay.
Prabhuji. Yeah, fine, Prabhuji. I'm doing well now.
Take care, take care. Chalo.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prakashji.
We had a fortune to have Aishwarya Mataji with us. So our discussion
Oh, your team
was,
did not say anything, tell.
the example that Mataji told us, which was very nice. There was a poor Brahmana and sitting in a small hut and dirty looking, and somebody asked him, "Do you know anything about Krishna?" And he just looked at it and said, "No, I don't know anything." And then he was shown the picture of a Krishna, and he said, "Oh, Lord becomes a driver even for a devotee." So that was the example that was given. we felt that Krishna always acted as a Chetas Guru, and he had always remained in the heart. Whenever there is a need of any guidance, even in devotional services, he immediately guides from inside as a Guru. And this guidance is continuous. We also discussed about sentimentality of the devotees and felt that softening of the heart is the main thing that occurs. And compassion, as you yesterday were discussing in Bhagavatam classes, compassion is the quality that spirituality develops into, which is completely missing in the material world. And I give one example that usually the material world people feel that the devotees or spiritually involved people do not align well, and they do not do what generally a person in the material world would do, because his priorities and his knowledge is quite different. He knows what material world people think as most priority are actually used as things. This is what we discussed, Prabhuji.
Very nice. Beautiful. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Material world, what is priority? Yes, people do not know what is priority. Generally, people, they speak big devotion, but their priority is material ambitions. Devotion is some kind of a luxury. You can add if you like to have. But heart of the heart, intense material desires. Burning. Chalo, I think we're done with the discussion. Thank you everybody for participating. Vivek Session.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
What happened in your team?
No, Prabhuji, I couldn't join the team at that last week, Prabhuji.
Come at sharp 10, okay? Okay.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji.
Okay. Chalo, can you continue, Prabhuji? Oh, so last Janaki Mataji, how many people have submitted? See, this assignment submission is compulsory. You cannot be in this course if you do not like. Please don't ask me for degree and all. Later, please. Just don't ask me. People are there, not submitting assignment, coming late for the class. Everything is being noticed. Okay? Please don't. This is the most respected course in ISKCON, and don't make a joke out of it. Okay? So how many people submitted, Mataji, totally?
Prabhuji, some people, I saw them uploading now. So we have around 36 people who have submitted.
Oh, almost did it. Good.
Half our strength. And then sadhana chart, as I said, has not been too perfect. Only around, I think,
no, anything introduced takes time. Yeah. 36 is very good. It's almost done. Just try. The habit is always to keep it towards the end. Just try to improve. Okay?
So, Prabhuji, I think, if we put it all in Learn Dash, I think things will be a little more systematic.
We will try. That we'll have to sit with Anand, how it can be done.
Hare Krishna.
Chalo, fantastic. What is the assessment? What is the question?
So, present in our own words, point relevant for our personal application with specific references to Sanskrit words and phrases and Srila Prabhupada's purpose from Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, 10.8 to 10.11. So what is the relevant points from these verses, purpose for our personal application?
Very nice. How you learn the lesson plan?
Just learning.
This is
Pran Prabhu, can you just put it in chat so that I can put it in the...
Sure.
So open book assessment. Okay, we just go previous again. The home assignment is there. I think many of you already know the 4 verses. They do it contesta, those who don't know.
Take its time. I am noting that home assignment.
Okay. Point relevant for your personal application with specific reference to Sanskrit from Chatushloki Gita. So give a preaching application, because why did you put it? Because it was PRA?
Yes, Prabhuji. Preaching as well as personal application both.
Preaching and personal application. This is specifically personal application, Hannah?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Preaching application, we had the discussion, correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very nice. So each one has he's already happening. I wish you could have come to India when Atul is coming.
Yeah, actually, it is still on, Prabhuji, the planning, and you just confirm the dates. It's still on.
Oh, you're planning. No, you come to India. I attend. He said yesterday I sent him this thing. Okay, I'll show you one video, 2-minute video. I'll just show you. Yesterday he asked me for a video, and this video is going to come on the website of. It is going to come in the website of Bhakti Shastri. He said we are privileged and that you all benefited from this. So he asked me, can you make? I said, okay, I'll make. And I call Rashmi Mataji. She is, has a very good, clear English.
Today, it's a pleasure and honor for us to have with us His Grace Namanishta Das Prabhuji. He's the temple president of.
Now, first time we came to know how we can train the teachers to teach and how the teachers can organize their content and how they can give better classes. We had sessions and we were understanding the mistakes we make. Everything was exciting because for us it's an implementation in 11 languages in 150 teachers. Practically everybody is going to benefit. And then we had after that learning that actually not when you do interactive classes, we can use brainstorming. It's a science, it's an art, how many ways interaction can be done, role play, some kind of charts, some kind of so many interesting ways to make people feel part and give a variety. Just like generally when you take a class, you just go extra 2 hours. Here we give a variety so that people feel so excited. So there's so many skills of teaching we didn't know, and we are just doing teaching and we are learning now how to improve in our teaching.
So you saw that already effect of that, Hannah? So they wanted to know how the Bhakti Shastri course is benefiting us. And is Pran Chaitanya Prabhu, you can see that, Hannah?
Yes.
Just that gave us a lot of idea. And this is still, we are doing extempo. We're not been really trained. We're trained. I wanted you all to see how he conducts a class. Oh my God. He conducts training session for teachers, how to teach using all the techniques that we are supposed to use. And every word he says is calculated, and he keeps telling. I wish you will all have the fun of that. And I want to attend that course 10 times, I told him, because he does it so well. Where is actually, people teach blah, 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 whatever they come to teach, but how many of us are trained actually properly to teach? Not many, teaching skills, particularly for the level 2, level 3, level 4, we need to incorporate. Level 1 can be classroom, chalta hai, but for other things, it has to be properly modulated. Yes, Hare Krishna.
So we move to the next section where after hearing the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita verses from Krishna, what is Arjuna's response, what is his realization, and how Arjuna also accepts Krishna's position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He gives the references not just based on his personal relationship as a friend, but he gives references of various sages, saintly persons who have also corroborated this fact, and also the scriptures. And what is the practical application of this particular section? Lord Krishna can be understood to be supreme by one who follows the spiritual authorities and who cultivates the devotion. We move, Prabhuji.
Link to the previous section, take care. See, Arjuna basically goes into ecstasy. If I see Arjuna's statements, and at this moment, I feel there is a change. See, Krishna put his Yogamaya on Arjuna, and Arjuna was like bewildered. And just like Hanuman will say, Jai Shri Ram, Krishna and Arjuna say, Jai Shri Krishna. And after this, his questions are different, You see, there is total change. After hearing Chatushloki, he goes into ecstasy, rather. And Param Brahma, Param Brahma, just like Hanuman saying, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. He goes into ecstasy after this. And I think shrugs off all that bewilderment that Krishna has created. And he says the famous verse now, I accept every word. Yanamam vadasi Keshava. What is the verse that will come now? Yanamam vadasi Keshava. Krishna, I accept every word that you have said. There are 10.8, 10.9, 10.11, and 10.12, 13, 10.14. What is the verse? Everybody, please have Gita on your table. Don't hear it like a story book.
Shall I recite the verse, Prabhuji, 10:14?
No, just. What is the verse?
Sarvam etat ritam manne yanmam vadasi Keshava nahi te bhagavan vyakti vidur devana danavaha.
In fact, Prabhupada says this is the way. Yanamam vadasi Keshava. Every word I accept. Amazing, Hannah? Just amazing. Every word I accept. So now I feel the yoga Maya here struck off. Hannah? There is a change in Arjuna after this Chatushloki. Yeah. And very nicely, who said that? Anita Mataji? That it represents Sambandha Avideya Prayojana. Very beautiful, beautiful Mataji. How, Dr. Anita, how did you know about this?
Prabhuji, I have learned it that in your previous classes.
Oh, really? No, I don't know. Maybe somebody else has. So many wonderful teachers are here. Somebody has. I never reflected on like that. Amazing that is. Beautiful.
Even Aishwarya Mataji also, I guess, Prabhuji had given this expression last time on 4 Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
In our last discussions.
Okay, beautiful.
Shall we proceed, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Okay. Text 12:13. Arjuna Uvacha Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavam Purusham Shashvatam Dipyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum Ahusta Rushaya.
Prabhuji, Bhagavad Gita. One copy of any Bhagavad Gita, any book. Bhagavad Gita.
Continue, Prabhuji.
Ahustva Rushaya Sarve Devarshi Naradastata Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Arjuna said, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you. Now you yourself are declaring it to me. So, Srila Prabhupada explains in these 2 verses, Lord Krishna is giving a chance to the Mayavadis who don't completely understand nor accept the position of Lord Krishna to explain how amongst the Brahma, amongst the spirits, he is the supreme spirit, he is the Para Brahma, he is the amongst the eternal, he is the supremely eternal. And Para Brahma indicates Arjuna's acceptance of Lord Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead after hearing the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. And Arjuna is accepting it not just out of his affection and personal relationship with the Lord as a friend, but he is also giving references to various sages like Asita, Devala, Vyasa, and now saying that Krishna himself is revealing his position as the supreme personality of Godhead. So he is accepting Krishna's position based on the authorities and not based on his any personal sentiment or relationship. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, each and every word of this verse spoken by Arjuna is confirmed by the Vedic injunction, and it gives various references from various Vedic scriptures. And Srila Prabhupada quotes from Kena Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, and also from the Vedas. Yes, Prabhupada.
And the last line?
And even the great sages like Asita, Devala, Vyasa, and Srila Narad Muni himself, all these have corroborated this fact about Lord Krishna's position being the supreme personality of Godhead.
Very nice. I just said previously that Prabhupada said no interpretation can be there independent of what has been understood by Arjuna. He is the first student, so what he has understood is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. And if you're following these words of Arjuna, we know that we are on the Right. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavam. Purusha is a person. He is not Brahma, he is Param Brahma. Adi Deva is the origin of all the Devatas. Vibhum, he is the greatest. And he's saying that I'm not speaking this thing, even the great sages accept this. I'm not flattering. Even Austu Arishaya Sarve, Devarshi Narada Sata, Asito Devala Vyasa. So all these great sages have accepted. Yeah.
So Srila Prabhupada concludes in the purport, the spirit of accepting Bhagavad Gita, one should accept in the mood how Arjuna has accepted Lord Krishna's position by going through the parampara system. And it is not possible for one to know Bhagavad Gita just by academic education and without referring to the disciplic succession. Sign of false pride of academic education. Despite evidence, Srila Prabhupada writes that sometimes these academic scholars, they stick to the obstinate conviction that Krishna is an ordinary person. So this is a sign of academic, the pride. And the question just instant on what we discussed, which phrase in this particular text 12 proves Lord Krishna to be the different from the ordinary soul? He is also eternal. Ordinary soul is also eternal. So answer is also mentioned here. Anybody would like to just explain this? How Krishna is supremely eternal amongst all eternals? What is the word used by Arjuna? Yes, Ramesh Prabhu.
Is that the Purusham Shashvatam Divyam? Is that the word, Uncle?
I guess Prabhuji has to confirm, Prabhuji. But
could be Param Brahma also.
Yeah, I thought Param Brahma.
Yeah, Param Brahma.
Yeah, Param Brahma. Because even in the purport, Srila Prabhupada stresses this word Param Brahma to mean that how this word, through this word, Arjuna proves Krishna's position as the supreme personality of Godhead, not as an ordinary eternal living entity. Param Brahma. Yes, Ankit Prabhu also.
Prabhuji, you asked the question, what was it, eternal, or you asked the question, is it supreme personality? I thought you asked the question eternal.
How he is the supreme being who is different, who is at a different platform compared to the individual soul. Okay. So which phrase Arjuna used? So
yeah, then it becomes that, Prabhu. Because I understood that I understood the other way, the way Ramesh Prabhu understood, whether he's going to live forever. That's what the point.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you,
Prabhu. Yes. Prabhuji, shall we proceed to the next verse?
Yeah.
Next verse, 10-14. Sarvam etat prutam mannu yanmam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidur deva na danavaha. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. So in the beginning of this chapter, we saw how Lord Krishna himself endorsed this fact that neither the Devatas nor the great sages know him perfectly. Here Arjuna is confirming here that neither the Devatas nor the demoniac personalities know Krishna completely. And this verse establishes how the faithless and demoniac people, they cannot understand Krishna. And since Krishna is not known even by the Devatas, what to speak of the modern scholars, academic scholars. And Srila Prabhupada again stresses here the importance of trying to understand Krishna through the parampara system. And we should emulate the mood in which Arjuna has accepted Krishna's position through, then only we can understand his position. And this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita and understanding that Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. So one needs to emulate the mood of Arjuna to realize these points.
The acceptance by Arjuna of all that Krishna should be emulated. So we cannot do something what is known as Ardha Kukuti Nyaya. We accept something we like, You don't accept something you don't like. Generally, we are all full of our own glorification. Somebody says something which is not palatable, we don't like, we don't accept it. Somebody glorifies us, we like. Yeah, right? Because we are all full of praise for ourselves. So similarly, here Bhagavad Gita, so many instructions may not be tally with our own hallucinations, but many times it will happen in preaching. We show the Bhagavad Gita to people who say, Prabhupada says that, Krishna says so. I don't accept it. People are too sure of their own realizations. Then why do you have Guru? I remember I was talking to somebody a long time ago, and we were in the Bangalore temple, and I said that let us do book distribution. So somebody told me, no, in my experience, it is not practical. I said, then why do you have Guru? If you say like that. And we found so many ways of distribution, and the temple became the world #1 in book distribution. So many ways we found out. You know, in my practical experience, this all book distribution doesn't work out. I said, Acha, then why do you have a Guru? If your experience is what is predominating you, many devotees have this weakness. Whatever silly little their experience they have, they're very proud of that because it worked. But it may not be the Guru's instruction. You see that Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada ordered Srila Prabhupada to base himself on printing books. Correct? That was the order given. And that's what Srila Prabhupada did. And it is, if you go by common sense and practical experience, totally impractical, the way he was. Would you launch a movement like this? Now, if I say anybody here, I say, I give you 5 crore rupees. First thing you'll go and buy a land. Correct? And build a temple. And then think about Prabhupada, his instruction is different. He was launching a worldwide mission, not a matha, a small temple. We cannot compare to an acharya. He's thinking of bringing in a world, huge army of millions of people who will traverse the earth and teach Krishna consciousness. He's on another plane. His instruction is different. And that's what he was doing, Prabhupada was doing. And if you look for a normal man, it's totally impractical the way he was working. He was running around, collecting money, printing books. He was not making a proper set. I could have always very easily made a matha in Vrindavan. That was not an issue for him. But he didn't do that. He was in different plane of activity. You know, if you know about it, say this Bhagavad Gita, you look at it. Okay, I'll tell you present terms, just understand what he was doing. This book of printing would roughly will cost you something 100, 120 rupees. Will cost you 100, 120 rupees, something like that. The book will cost you. Okay. Now, if you multiply by say 1 lakh, 2 lakh copies, then only it becomes practical. This is the cost ISKCON gets because we print a very large quantity at a time. Suppose Prabhupada prints at least few thousand copies. And how much does it cost him? Take care, that will cost more. This book will cost, say, in today's term, will cost then 200 rupees to print each book. And multiplied by, say, 10,000, 200 into 10,000 is 20 lakh rupees. Anna? True? It's a big amount of money. And he printed 3 volumes like that, 60 lakh rupees. 60 lakhs, you can have a small, Vrindavan is not so expensive, you know. You can buy a small tract of land and start building a matha. But he did not do that. He did not do that. He went to even personalities like Hari Prasad Podar, you know, Gita Press, collecting some donations and coming up printing of the books. Why? As Guru's order, even though it is beyond. So what happens generally, why do people reject certain instruction of the Shastra and Guru? They go by their experience. To hell with their experience. Then don't have a Guru. Don't have a Guru. If your predominating basis is your life experience, please don't have a Guru. You don't need Guru there. You are Guru is your own proud mind. Guru comes when, like, even though it looks impractical to you, even though it looks, there was once Prabhupada said, print Chaitanya Charitamrita in 2 months. So the devotee in charge said, Prabhupada, it's impossible. We print in 2 months 1 volume. And you're telling of printing 17 volumes in 2 months. Prabhupada said, impossible word exists in the dictionary of fools. And they sat down. Actually, they could do it. They never knew. They sat down, they said, Prabhupada is saying, is it possible? They said, actually, it is possible. And so the moment you start with like that, learning what Krishna says is fact, and then try to understand it, you will understand every word of Bhagavad Gita. But when you bring your own realizations, your own experience of the word first, and then you start doubting the instruction of Krishna itself, you'll never understand how it is practical. Okay? Anybody else? Why do people, I've created some more discussion, Pranchit. Why do people take part and not accept another part? Why do people do that? See, Gita is also designed in such a way that if you have a wrong philosophy, some portion of Gita will start contradicting you. That's the design. It's a perfect design. The verses will stand against you because you are taking a wrong conclusion. So Shankaracharya, what he did is at all those places started interpreting those verses and take out their meaning. Just like some people say we don't have to surrender to Krishna, but Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Direct verse is surrender. So what they say, no. Not into Krishna, something inside Krishna. So they interpret the words and escape the conclusion. Okay, anybody, why do people do that? They take a part and not accept another part. Any other reason? Aishwarya Mataji? Anita Mataji, yes.
Their own ego, their own personal desires, just like when we go to the doctor and doctor has given the medication, some people take as it is, like they say, and some people say, oh, in 2 days we are better, we don't have to take it, so same thing like that. So like in Bhagavad Gita, some people believe in the partial, whatever is good for them, and some people, they think, every word is good.
Yes. See what happens, you accept every word Krishna says as perfect and proceed, you will be able to understand. Yes, Prakashji, what do you want to add?
Prabhuji, is it because of the envy?
Yeah, definitely we are envious. Yes, then?
So if enviness is there, then everything that other person says is wrong. But whatever I say is right.
Yeah, including Krishna. They say, okay, maybe he made some mistakes, it's good. Yes. Morally.
Prabhuji, are we covered by Yogamaya?
No, the Yogamaya is very for big devotees. Yeah, in one sense, yes. Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya Samahrita. In one sense, yes.
Yeah.
But generally, Yogamaya plays with great devotees. We are more of covered by Mahamaya. Okay. Chalo.
Some kind of a Maya.
Some Maya. Chalo, whichever it is. Thank you. Sujata Mataji?
I think they are scared of surrendering, Mata Prabhuji. They must be scared of losing the identity. So they don't like, they're scared. So
yeah,
they're at their own there for the seat. Yes.
Not easy to bow down. Yes, not easy to bow down. Yes. Yes, Namita Mataji?
Prabhuji, they may also be self-conscious or insecure.
Yes, insecure. Yes.
So simply trying to please others. So my point here, because of self-conscious, Prabhuji, I think. Okay.
Thank you, Namita.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Actually, even in here, in that text 14, the second line is Krishna, where the word is Swayam Devana Jaranti Mi Kutu Manusya. That is the sentence here. So basically, the people are not understanding, and those who are wanting to get into the spiritual life also, their environment also puts them in such a fashion that they find it a lot of bottlenecks to really overcome all that and come to the spiritual life.
Prabhuji, shall I add something?
Quick. We had a big objective. I don't think we are reaching the end today, huh?
Prabhuji, I feel we are governed by the five material senses, and plus we doubt the supremacy of our Krishna, and in turn we feel that we are the one who governs everything.
Therefore, we don't accept, by very nature of what somebody said, envious, we don't accept everything he says. Correct?
Yeah, at least not in full, Prabhuji. We partly accept it.
Yeah, wherever Krishna says you are wonderful, you accept it. Wherever Krishna says you are a full number, we don't want to accept it. Hana?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
We are incapable of complete surrender.
Ah, wonderful. Because we are not pure. Hana? Okay, great. Chalo, continue, Prabhuji. Sorry, beyond the lesson plan, I created something. Huh?
Next text 15. So we'll try and cover this next 4 verses, Prabhuji, in one lot. Then we can start with the last section. So text 15. Swayam evatmanatmanam veta tvam purushottama bhuta bhavana bhutesha deva deva jagatpate. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe. So here Arjuna is acknowledging again that only it is Krishna who by his internal potency can know himself fully. No other personality can understand him to that full completeness. And only to the devotees by Lord Krishna's mercy, whatever extent he reveals himself, they can understand Krishna. So how to understand Krishna, the supreme truth? Hare Krishna.
Who's this?
I just muted. We should receive Bhagavad Gita only from Krishna or any person who is in devotional relationship with him, like Arjun and his followers. We should strictly avoid commentaries by the mental speculators. And truth about Krishna is established by Arjuna's realization that, like Arjuna, as we saw in the last text number 12 and 13, he accepts Krishna as Parabrahma, as the supreme person. And Srila Prabhupada, to support this, also quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam, the famous verse from second chapter of canto number 1. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwan iti shabdyate. Which means that Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan, how these are the 3 levels of understanding the absolute truth, and the Bhagwan stage being the highest of them. Common man or even a liberated man who has realized impersonal feature or Paramatma feature may not understand God's personality, and sometimes impersonalists, although they accept Krishna as the authority, they cannot understand him as the supreme person. So they know Krishna is the supreme, but they don't know that he has the personal feature which is the supreme. And then in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains various levels of Krishna's understanding, which Arjuna is revealing in this verse. So first, Arjuna addresses Krishna as Bhuta Bhavana, which means that Krishna is the father of all the living entities, and therefore he is addressed as such. But if he is Bhuta Bhavana, then people may not know that he is also the supreme controller. So Arjuna is using the word Bhutesha so that we understand Krishna's position as the supreme controller of all the living entities. But if we know that, still we may not know him as the original worshipable Lord of all the Devatas. So then Arjuna is addressing Krishna as Deva Deva. And even if we understand his position as the Lord, worshipable Lord of all the Devatas, we may not understand him as the supreme proprietor of all the world, everything that is created. So Arjuna addresses Krishna as Jagatpati, as the Lord of the universe. So these are some of the ways in which we can understand Krishna by following in the footsteps of Arjuna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Purushottama Bhuta Bhavana Bhutesha Deva Deva Jagatpate. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji, continue.
Okay. So in the next text, that is 10:16, Arjuna is requesting Krishna to reveal more about himself, his opulences, and we will also see why he is asking that. Vaktum arhasi asheshena Divya hi atma vibhutayah yabir vibhuti bhir lokan imam stvam vyapya tishtatsi. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. So here Arjuna is requesting to hear more about Krishna's divine opulences by which Krishna pervades all parts of this creation. So Arjuna's platform of understanding is already satisfied by knowing Krishna's position as the supreme absolute truth, and he has achieved that understanding by Lord Krishna's grace. He has got the personal experience, realization, intelligence, knowledge, and whatever else one may have through all these agencies, and thus Arjuna has got the complete understanding about Krishna. But still he is asking Krishna to explain his all-pervasive nature for common people, because as Prabhuji had mentioned in the beginning of this chapter is mainly to reveal Krishna's identity, his position through his physical representations. So Arjuna wants to reveal Krishna's identity, his position for the common people who can understand Krishna through his physical representations, through his all-pervasive nature. So that is the reason why Arjuna is requesting Krishna to reveal these details, not for himself, but for the common people. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. All-pervading nature of the Supreme. Why is Arjuna asking this question? Like similarly comes in Vishwarupa also, because people cannot understand. So this description of the opulences and Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa is practical demonstration of what is going to speak now. This, I think, 80 plus opulences, vibhutis. People are material in nature. So through matter first, we have to understand what is visible all around us. Through that, we have to understand the glories of Krishna at this moment. Yes, Prabhu.
Next text 10:17. Katham vidyam aham yogins tvam sada parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? How shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? So here Srila Prabhupada is stressing in the purport how hearing about Krishna one improves in one's remembrance, thoughts of him. And then we also saw in text number 7 how by remembering him we become more, our appreciation for Krishna grows and we become more fixed in our devotional service. So importance of the word yogin, Srila Prabhupada explains, Sri Krishna is the master of Yogamaya energy by which he is covered and uncovered to the common man. Importance of the word keshu keshu cha bhaveshu. It refers to the material nature, as Prabhuji just explained, how one can understand Krishna by what we can perceive, by what we can understand in this material world, how we appreciate Krishna through it. Common man has no love for Krishna, so therefore he has to think materially to perceive Krishna's position. Nature of Arjuna as a Vaishnava, he is asking all these questions, although he has understood Krishna completely as the supreme absolute truth, still he is inquiring all this just for common man's benefit. This is the nature of a devotee. He is just not happy understanding himself all by himself, but he wants everybody else also to know Krishna and benefit from it. And he is opening for common man the understanding of all pervasiveness of the Supreme Lord. So Prabhuji, do we have time for this activity?
Yeah, we can do this. I think this can be this is again breakout rooms.
Yes, Prabhuji.
What is that? Why does Arjuna ask Krishna to explain his opulences? Discuss why does Arjuna inquire? Please, can you note down everybody this?
I'll just put it on chat also.
The chat is always visible. Even
Chat is always visible. Yeah.
Great.
So are we having a long session today, Prabhuji?
No. We'll stop sharp at 12.
Okay.
We can continue next time.
Yeah.
Chalo. Why does Arjuna ask Krishna to explain his opulences?
This is 10.17. Okay. Why does Arjuna ask Krishna to explain it?
Okay, shared. Should I start the
Yes, Prabhu.
breakout rooms again?
Yeah.
Same rooms I'm opening again.
Yeah.
స్పెషల్ పిల్లలు సినిమా తీసుకొస్తాడు తల్లు మా రోజాను పిల్లాడు వచ్చాడు రోజాను సినిమా తర్వాత నేను వాడే వెళ్తున్నాను నేను వస్తాను కాదు నేను వస్తాను అన్నయ్య వద్దు మా ఇద్దరి మాటలు వేరన్నా
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes. What happened? You came back?
Yeah, we are done. So our group discussed saying that, this question is predominantly, or maybe could be for common people who probably would have difficulties in understanding the rupam of, or the various forms of Lord Krishna. And for the impersonalists, or for materialistic people, it's more for them to physically, get a feel of who he is as the Bhagavan, because they feel nice to know somebody in a physical form. Then Pridashri Mataji added a very nice point. She said, for Krishna is someone who's beyond all kinds of conceptions, and he's inconceivable by normal people, and he's over and above all our imagination. And he also wants to know, Arjuna probably in this question wants us to get a feel of how Krishna wants himself to be known and to be remembered by all of us who are in this material world. Ramesh ji, Priyadarshini ji, add on anything I may have missed. Valar Mataji, please add on anything I may have missed.
So one more is to taste the nectar. So there are 4 reasons for Arjuna is asking this. Janaki Mataji just explained. First is the common for common people, because common people are sometimes impersonalist.
Valar Mataji, one is the common people. Yes.
Yeah, first reason is for the sake of common people, because they are usually impersonalists. So there should be an explanation for them, so they know Krishna is actually personalist, not impersonalist. Second, for the sake of a materialist, because materialist usually is able to absorb only in physical things. So they want Krishna to manifest in physical representations. And third is for personal absorption. Because Arjuna himself wants to constantly think of Krishna. So he's asking, how can I remember you? And fourth is to taste the nectar. Pure devotees want to hear more and more and taste the nectar of his word. So these are the 4 reasons.
Beautiful. Thorough. Very, very thorough.
Prabhuji,
we just did study group, Prabhuji, yesterday.
That's good. Yeah. So Prabhuji,
you studied this, what we are going to discuss yesterday?
No, all the Bhakti little study groups we do have, Prabhuji.
They do before the class.
Yes, we do in our study group.
Yes,
but
our study group people are coming.
Yes, we have regulars in my group is Sujata Mataji, Tarani, Usha Kamat, Navani. So these are all the, also Adish. Adish was sitting beside you. He's also in my group, and Prakash, Prabhuji. So yes.
Fantastic. Chalo, keep it. I will tell you to revise again. Okay, anybody else? All the people, should I call them back now?
Prabhuji, otherwise we won't be able to close at 12.
Okay, close all rooms.
Prabhuji, we discussed that the same thing. In addition to that, we discussed that for the personal absorption, Arjuna wants to know more and to taste the nectar, because it's like a nectar. He wants to hear more and more about the nectar. And Lord Krishna, he's the transcendental. So, that's why.
Okay.
That's the other reasons we also discuss.
So let everybody come here. They are forced to come here. All the rooms are closing now. 20 seconds more. Yes, by the time, Negi, आपके group में क्या discussion हुआ?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So we noticed some few points that Arjuna is telling, because Arjuna wants to release this nectar of the opulation. So as he told that Bhuya Kathaya Tripti Srunato Nasti Me Amritam. So it's like nectar. So then it is for atheistic, the people who are atheistic in nature. So they can also hear about Krishna. And other thing is, it is like mercy on devotees. So Arjuna is telling Arjuna, so Arjuna is asking Krishna so that other could also benefit by this conversation. And then another point is that he's setting the ground for the Vishwarupa. So these were the main points.
Good. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, any other group? And that was room number 8. Let me go. Room number 10. Aishwarya Mataji, anything you had to add? Some new vision?
Yeah, we had Manisha Mataji, Prakash Prabhu, and Adish Prabhu and all. So yes, Prabhu. So Arjuna is asking questions to prove that one statement, that Tadvidi Pranipatana. Unless you ask questions to your guru, you don't get. He's a shishya. He's asking questions. Then to prove others how great Krishna is, because yes, now Krishna gives a theory, and then the Vishwarup he gives a practical demonstration. Then it's for common people. And also Manisha Mataji had a nice point that Arjuna likes to keep on hearing about Krishna, because that's how a pure devotee is, like to go on hearing. So that's a taste for hearing the message. And how to remember the Lord, like if the Mayavatis can't remember his form, they don't believe in the form, at least by his opulences, Krishna proves that he's not different from his energy. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Manisha, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
You are come back to your country. You didn't come to Mangalore.
Prabhu, the numbers had gone up, so I was strictly not allowed. And if I show too much movement in India, then they wouldn't allow me to enter Indonesia. I had to quarantine for 7 days. So I had an option of 7 or 14 days. So I had to strictly stay in one city for 7 days before I go to Indonesia.
Okay.
But I'm coming back in June, Prabhu, and this time I'm going to not work from India. I'm taking 15 days off, like proper leave.
Take it. Yes, so we had this. This is Murli Kari. Anything from your team? No, you're not audible.
And the only so exactly the 3 points which was right. First is Arjuna wants to know about this. So those questions we answered in 2 parts. Arjuna wanted it for himself. Arjuna wanted it for the others to know. And then third point is that because everyone is materialistic, so in order to make everyone realize that it is he who is present in everything, that is why he's asked the question. And the second question which was asked is that we came to the same conclusion as that is that we just want to listen about Krishna all the time, and then because he's not boring, he's all ever fresh, and then it is forever present. So it's the same conclusions we came to.
Yes. Last, we have 1 more minute. Anybody else wants to add something which was addition to what we discussed, all the points?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I think with the our Mataji, our group, she can go ahead and listen. Divya Mataji.
Yes, Divya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Actually, that first I can understand, and we discussed that to keep thinking of Krishna, to gain unflinching bhakti. It's like aham sarvasya prapavu, to the material world. Whatever we see in the material world, we can think continuously. Like if it's a mother, for example, I can give like a mother. When his daughter or son went to going to out or school or something, then they are are always thinking of their children's, like what happens to them, and so what they are doing. Like likewise, whatever we see in the material world, or we can think like it's like aham sarvasya prabhavo, that we are getting like unflinching bhakti to Krishna. That is the one thing. And that and Arjuna asked this for the common man. Is like the people, the common man who has no love for Krishna, who no love for Krishna, cannot always think of, they can't think always for Krishna. Therefore he has to think materially. So whatever he sees, that man can think. The one who is not they don't think proper love for Krishna, that means he can, that's all prakriti is the yoga maya, is the yoga maya of Krishna, and he can think whatever he see in the material, and he can think of Krishna. And the third one is this Arjuna is not getting satisfaction for hearing about this one. It's actually, I can tell it's a 1.1.19 in Bhagavatam. Is a vayam tuna viprita vitrapyama uttama shloka vikamera shrunudam rasajnanam swadu swadu pade pade. It's like a swadu swadu pade pade. What, how much we are hearing, whatever we are hearing, it's like it's like honey. It's what so it's like that much interesting. He want to hear more and more and more and more. That's the one I can understand, Mataji.
Thank you,
Prabhu, Hare
Mataji.
Krishna,
So
Hare Krishna, Hare
sweet,
Krishna. Prabhu.
very sweet, very
Hare Krishna,
nice
Prabhu. I
words.
just want to add.
Rashmi, time up 12 o'clock. Okay? Not 1 minute, mate. We'll next time we continue. Okay? Just note it down. Okay, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare
Okay?
Krishna.
Please do your
Hare
assignments
Krishna,
for the
Prabhuji.
week. And I
Hare
think you
Krishna,
all
Prabhu.
are enjoying natural lesson planning done by Pran Chaitanya Prabhu. Okay? He
I
has
just
picked it up.
want to, Hare Krishna, I just
Hare
want
Krishna,
to.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mukherjee ji, next time now.
Attendance we have to mark here. No?
Attendance and attendance, Prabhuji.
Attendance we have not marked.
Mataji.
Just waiting.
No, it is there. I posted it long time ago.
We already
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare
No,
Krishna.
no, you have to post it
Through
again.
this-
Mataji, they cannot see.
through
Those
this,
who
we
came
are
late.
requesting,
Yeah,
Hare
yeah.
Krishna, Hare Krishna. Through this, I am requesting Rukmini Mataji from, I think, Dubai or somewhere, and Lalita Mataji to join our class. They are missing our class. We are missing them.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna, Prabhu. My time is very, very, very long timing for work, Prabhuji. That is why.
I know, but for you to be ready for 9:30, but even then you did not join. So I thought.
I can hear. I can hear when I am driving. That's what I can do, Prabhuji. I am missing your all the classes. What I do,
At
what I will do.
least send us the answers. At least send us the answers.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Take care. Attendance is over, everybody?
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, what are the coming? Tomorrow is our new batch starting, batch 22. At this time, registration has been better. Well, that's Krishna's grace. Still, I have time to pull it up. We have reached, I think. And also Mayapur Vrindavan visit. Those who are late, you will have to stay far away from Fogal Ashram. Please don't complain that time.
How much has been the registration this time, Prabhuji?
No,
5,000.
We touched 30.
30,000. Wow.
Yeah, we should do by 40 by the time this thing.
Very nice.
As far as Vrindavan is concerned, we have 120 bookings coming from Tulu department itself. He has done magnificent.
Wow.
He goes house to house, does Harinam, and amazing result. Has built a new congregation for the temple single-handedly.
Wow.
Simple boy. Smiling, sweet Tulu. And Guru Maharaj instruction it was, why not doing Tulu? And I think there are 5-6 good. And Konkani we need. Anybody is Konkani here? We can. Hey, Sri Lakshmi, but where? She is not independent. Sri Lakshmi is not free. Hannah, Sri Lakshmi? Any Konkani? Nobody Konkani. Konkani we can, really, lot of people will come. Yeah. Yesterday somebody came and he stayed with us in the night, and he said if Konkani is there, it will be magnificent. I do not know. I have some people, they say, no, Konkani people don't listen.
Let me check. I have some few friends in Konkani. I'll try to get them. Let me see.
No, that is a student. We have to make a teacher. I have some students.
Let's start with the students and ultimately they will come. No?
Yeah, at least let them come.
Prabhuji, our Ashwin Kiri Prabhuji.
Who is that?
So he's in our level 3. He's a BVSN.
No, just tell him to talk to me. Bhakti. Ashwin Kiri, that is software engineer.
I'm not sure, but I think so. His mother tongue is Konkani.
Okay, done. Everybody done the attendance. I was just waiting for that.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Chalo. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. I hope this is better. This way it was better. More interaction.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
This is all. We have to thank Atul Krishna Prabhu for this. And this is just, we are not even practiced.
No.
Yes.
Prabhu, when your time, call me up. Okay?
Yes.
Yesterday I managed. You know what? I sat till 2 o'clock in the night.
Yes.
That day 0. You left me alone. Anyway, call me sometime. Okay? When you're free.
Yes.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everybody.